I want to talk about the silence. You know the silence I'm talking about. 3 a.m., the house is quiet, your wife is sleeping next to you, the kids are safe in their rooms, all the emails are answered, the bank account is full, and on paper, everything's fine. But you're staring at the ceiling, wide awake, and you feel nothing. Or maybe you feel panic or a low level of anxiety that never really goes away, like that pit in your stomach. You ask yourself, is this it? Is this really the rest of my life? And then guilt hits. You think, man, I should be grateful. I have a great life. But why do I feel so miserable? So you close your eyes and you force yourself to sleep. Eventually you wake up and you drink the coffee. You go to the gym. You go to work. You act like everything is fine. But you know it's not. You feel like a structurally unsound building. You're waiting for the crack to turn into a collapse. And when that collapse finally comes, when she leaves or you get fired, or you end up in the ER, everyone generically calls it a crisis. They say, oh, he's having a breakdown. They say this is his midlife crisis. But they're wrong. You are not having a crisis. What you're experiencing is a system failure. And today, we're going to talk about why your life is collapsing, but more importantly, why you should let it. Now, let's fix the vocabulary first, because words matter. The world loves the term midlife crisis for some strange reason. To me, it brings up images of a guy buying a red Corvette, getting hair plugs, and dating a 22-year-old. But what that does is it frames your very real pain as a joke, or even in a way, it frames it like a tantrum. When you tell people you're struggling, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? They say, just take a vacation, go to therapy, find more work-life balance. That advice is trash. Because you don't have a balance problem. You have a design problem. Let me tell you a story. I had a client named Mark. Mark was 45 and was VP of sales. He was a high earner with 2 kids in private school, and he came to me because he found himself sitting in his driveway for 30 minutes every night before he even walked inside. He would literally just sit in his car. His hands would be on the steering wheel, staring at the garage door, because he physically couldn't make himself open his car door. And I remember him telling me, Kuz, I love my family, but I feel like if I walk through that door, I'm going to suffocate. His wife, God bless her, just told him that he was depressed. His doctor gave him pills. But Mark wasn't sick, and he definitely wasn't crazy. Mark was driving a machine that had run out of fuel 10 years ago. And he was pushing it uphill with sheer willpower. That is system failure. It happens when the man you are in your soul can no longer survive the life you've built by your ego. Most men will build their lives on 3 things: performance, or what you earn; validation, and what other people think of you; or comfort, which is a pseudonym for staying safe. Those are all just sand. When the storm comes, and the storm always comes, sand washes away. And if you're feeling that wobble right now, it's because your foundation is cracking. So if you know that the house is starting to crack, what do? Most men try to renovate. You try to fix the marriage by doing more chores. You try to fix your health by doing a 3-day juice cleanse. You try to fix your burnout by changing jobs. You're trying to patch the drywall while the foundation is sliding into the ocean. You can't renovate a life that is fundamentally broken. You have to burn it down. Now, I want to be really clear. When I say that, I don't mean blow up your family. I don't mean quit your job today and become homeless. I mean you have to stop trying to save the old version of you. The man who got you into this mess can't get you out of it. The nice guy who avoids conflict, which was what I used to be, he has to die. The performer who needs everyone to like him, he has to die. The victim who blames his ex-wife, he has to die. You have to look at your life and say, this structure is condemned. I'm going to tear it down to the studs and build something fireproof. And it is fucking terrifying. And it feels like death. But biologically and spiritually, it is the only way to survive. A seed has to die to become a tree. You have to die to become the man you are supposed to be. So now let's get tactical. What does system failure look like in real time? It usually looks like Friday night. Imagine this situation with me. I want you to visualize this. It's Friday and it's 5 o'clock. You've been white knuckling it all week. You ate the salads, you did the work, you kept your mouth shut when your boss was an idiot. You were good. But now the work week is over. The pressure comes off, and your brain, your exhausted, dopamine-starved brain says, we deserve a reward. This is the most dangerous moment of your week. This is what I call the slide. You stop at the liquor store. It's just one bottle of wine, right? Or maybe a 6-pack. You order the pizza, you turn on the TV, and you check out. You think and you tell yourself that you're relaxing, but you're not. You are numbing. You are turning off the check engine light because you don't want to look under the hood. In this moment, here's what I want you to do. When that voice says, I deserve a break, you need to recognize it as a lie. You don't need a break. You need a win. So here's your Friday protocol. Number 1, change the environment. Don't go home and sit on the couch immediately. Go to the gym. Go for a walk. Change your physical state. Step 2, the 0 option. Commit to 0 alcohol for just this night. Prove to yourself you don't need the chemical to turn your brain off. And step 3 is the audit. Ask yourself, what am I trying to escape from? If you have to numb yourself to survive your weekend, you don't have a life. You live in a cage. Now let's talk about the other side of system failure, the relationship. Let me tell you about David. David was the perfect good husband. He worked hard. He didn't cheat. He didn't drink. He did the dishes, which is a lot because I hate doing my own fucking dishes. He watched the rom-coms she wanted to watch. He did everything right. And one day, his wife sat him down and said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I'm leaving. And naturally, David was crushed. He was in shock. He came to me and said, Kuz, it's not fair. I did everything she asked. And I looked at him and I said, David, that's the problem. You did everything she asked. You never did what you wanted. David's system was built on compliance. He thought if he was just nice enough, she would never leave. He was the thermometer, not a thermostat that I talked about in episode 2. He had no edge. He had no mission. He was just kind of there. Safety, unfortunately, is not sexy. Predictability is not leadership. David's system failed because it was built on fear, the fear of losing her. And paradoxically, that fear is exactly what made her leave. When we started the reconstruction, David wanted to know how to get her back. And I told him, we aren't getting her back. We are getting you back. We stopped the pleading. We stopped the apologies. David started lifting heavy. He started saying no. He started leading his own life. And 6 months later, he didn't care if she came back or not. And that, fellas, is usually when they call, if they're going to call. So how do you build the fireproof house? How do you build a system that doesn't fail? It comes down to one word: integrity. Not integrity like being a nice person. I mean structural integrity. Think about it like a bridge. A bridge is integrity if it can hold the weight it was designed for. If a bridge collapses, it lacked the actual integrity. To build your own structural integrity, you need 3 pillars. The first is physical toughness. You cannot have a strong mind and a soft body. It is impossible. If you are weak, tired, and inflamed, your emotional resilience will be 0. We start in the gym because the iron does not lie. Pillar 2, is radical truth. You have to stop lying. Stop lying about how much you drink. Stop lying about how happy you are. Stop lying about what you want. The truth hurts, but lies kill. And pillar 3 is spiritual authority. You need a code. For me, that is Christ. It is the understanding that I answer to a higher power than my boss or my bank account. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. I want to end this episode with one final drill. And this is probably going to be the hardest thing I'm going to ask you to do. Tonight, when you're brushing your teeth, I want you to stop. Look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and really look. Not the quick glance. Look into your own pupils. It's uncomfortable after about 5 seconds. You'll want to look away, but don't. Hold that gaze and ask yourself one question. Do I trust this man? If the answer is no, if you know that man breaks his promises, if you know that man is faking it, then you are in system failure. And no amount of money or therapy or vacations will fix it. You have to rebuild him. You have to make a choice. Option A is to keep patching the drywall and wait for the roof to collapse on your head. Or option B is to light the match. Let the old self burn and build the man who keeps his word. If you are staring at that ceiling at 3 a.m., if you have failed the mirror test, you need a plan. Motivation will fade by Tuesday. You need a protocol. I help men do this in 90 days. We stop the bleeding. We fix the body. We rebuild the word. It's not easy. It is the hardest work you will ever do. But it is better than suffocating in a life that doesn't fit you. Go to CoachKuz.com. Download the First 48 protocol. It's free. It'll help you survive the crash. And if you are ready to build the fireproof house, apply for the 90-day resurrection. Stop surviving. Start leading. I am Acusio Bavona, and I'll see you in the arena.